And good morning. It is Wednesday, May 26th, day 26 of my AT2021. Alright, so that is the trail going up, heading northbound. And that's no filter. That's the mountain that we came down the other day. It's foggy out this morning. It's supposed to have chance of rain about somewhere between 1 and 3 o'clock and continuing pretty much all night long. For the next week, probably out of the 10 days, 7 days are going to be rain. The goal is to go to the, I believe it's the Eckville shelter. So we'll see. Catch with you later. Alrighty, not quite to the top of the hill. My glasses keep on fogging up, but there is a nice breeze right now, and you can see the fog in the trees behind me. There's not an ounce of me that's not dripping with sweat and moisture right now, but down here, I don't know if you can see it, nice little grassy meadow. But still a ways to go, up, and away. Okay, I just want to say thank you very much to everyone who watched my video from the other day. Looks like you did what I asked. You commented. You gave me a couple of personal messages, being very positive, motivated me. I appreciate it very much. Some people actually commented on the YouTube itself, gave me some thumbs up. Thank you so very much. I need that. I also got a comment about, how do you know where you're going? So right here you see this white mark on the tree. It's about 2 inches wide, 6 inches long is what it's supposed to be. Those are trail markers for the Appalachian Trail, the AT. So sometimes there's 2 of them stacked on top of each other. And that could mean, hey, pay attention, there's something coming up that might intersect, and you got to look for the next tree or rock or whatever for where you're going. If it's jogged off over here to the right on the top, that means most likely you're going to be taking a right turn. And if it's over here to the left, that means that you're going to be taking a left turn. Now I've seen so far white, blue, yellow, orange, and purple, pink markers. So that's a lot of different trails that are intersecting with the AT. Blue typically designates for the AT that there's a shelter, possibly, water source. Blue water, that makes sense. The other thing that I have is called Gut Hook. It's a GPS, global positioning, GPS, can't remember what S is, global positioning locator system. And it allows me to judge where the next shelter is, the next tent site, the next town, for as far as resupplies, hotels, motels, hostels, outfitters, so we can, replace gear if we need it. It also, when I put it in GPS mode, will show where I'm at. And if I do get off trail, which I've had to use this like 2 times before, I can zero in on this little symbol that shows where I am and where the trail is, and all I gotta do is move towards the trail. So that's pretty cool. And it works, without having to have the cell phone reception, because up here in them thar hills, a lot of times you don't get reception. The other thing that's cool about the Gut Hook is it's got the social feed on it. So I can leave messages. Hey, I made it here, checking in, doing okay, all that kind of stuff. And my daughter, who has my iPad, can open that up and check my progress and where I'm at. And so it's kind of a cool feature. So hopefully that helped explain a little bit about navigating. Sometimes, you can obviously see this trail. Sometimes you really can't see it. There was just a spot back there, not too far, where there was a trail going up and a trail going down. And it's like a 50-50. No real marking, not on the rocks, not on the trees. And I decided to go down. Looked maybe a little bit more worn, I don't know. And then eventually I did see another trail marker on a tree. So, unlike what the AT is usually like, they would normally have had me go up and stay in the rocks. So, I was still in the rocks. So it's very humid today, 98% humidity. Good chance of thunderstorms, gusts up to 50 miles an hour, rain, possibly hail, all that good fun stuff. And for the next 10 days, about 7 out of those 10 days is going to be a rain forecast. So I really don't want to be up on the ridge in the rocks very much, and fortunately that's the majority of today. So with that said, there's also another app. It's called All Trails, and I have the pro version of it, so I can download it and use it offline. And I saw this one thing called the Pulpit Pinnacle Loop. So there's 2 viewpoints coming up here shortly. One's called the Pulpit, the next one's called the Pinnacle. And they typically would have a lot of visitors, especially on weekends. Imagine this weekend with Memorial Day, it'll be really busy. Some, painting on the rocks, of course. But the loop, when going counterclockwise, does about 85% of it on the AT. And then there's this short leg that connects back, and then it goes down into a parking lot. And when I was looking at that, and looking at the weather and everything, by the time that I climbed that hill and made my way there, I think it would be in the brunt of the really nasty weather. So I made the decision that I was going to go on the Blue Trail, which is actually the Blue Reservoir Mountain Road, something like that, and jog over, and not jog physically, but jog as in take that leg of the trail over to where it meets the AT. And I was talking to Crinkles and No Filter and Snoop Dogg, who well, Snoop Dogg and Crinkles are the guys that can usually make 15 miles no problem. They love to do the rock scrambles. But they're like, oh yeah, we'll do that. That way we can make it to the second shelter, the Eckhart, I believe is shelter. Because there is another shelter coming up here shortly. But we wanted to push past that. That way we can push towards Palmerton. After that is Wind Gap, and then the Delaware Water Gap, which gets us out of Pennsylvania. So, with the weather like it's going to be today, there's not going to be any views. It might be pretty dangerous out there on the rocks and everything. So, they're actually going to do that. And then AT Positive and Ballpark, they got back from their slack packing late, and No Filter told them about that, and so they're considering doing that too. So we might have quite a number of people at that shelter tonight. Regardless, I'll probably set up my tent. Anyway, just taking a little brief time to catch up because I haven't been able to do that in quite a number of days. I might take this and kind of split it into a couple of videos, but that's okay. Anyway, let's get to hiking. Barely moving spring water coming out of the rocks.
Water on it.
This
Well, the lady slippers are done for the season.
Furnace Reservoir. Oh. Yeah, these ones right here.
Yeah,
Our lady slippers.
ready to drop there.
Yeah.
That's a lot of them.
Alright, we have found the AT. And we have some white blazes. We just came through there, which was down to the Hamburg Reservoir, but we knew it as the Furnace Creek Reservoir. Looks like there's a nice campsite down there, and we're headed that way. Okay, been 7 miles in 5.5 hours. That's with stopping at Windsor Furnace Creek area for a little bit, and where No Filter filled up with water. I'm right now at a campsite, sitting on a log. No Filter went on. We just made it to the AT again. The sun is out, blue skies, a little bit of a breeze finally. Oh, excuse me. A little bit of a breeze finally. So it feels good. So it's like 2.5 miles. to the Eckhart shelter. But I just needed a break to sit down. They kind of hike at a little bit faster pace than I do. So 7.5 miles in 5 hours. That's booking it. Especially with 3 uphills, 1 pretty bad downhill. So just gonna rest up here for a minute, then I'll push on. Should make it there by about 2 o'clock. That'll be good. Be real good. All right, heads off right now. Much needed water. Coming mysteriously out of them there rocks. Alright, double blaze. Look up. That way's blue. We're going up, of course. Alright, you can barely make it out, but it's a shelter on road. There's road. Alright. Oh, you're in my way. Eckville shelter. This line is closed. That's the caretaker's house. Eckville shelter. And thank God for a picnic table.